You want to talk about a great seniors doubles player. There weren't many better than Hank Crawford.
Had real short, compact strokes, very savvy player, excellent lob volleyer. You could get him in trouble in the court, he hit a lob volley over you.
And Hank was clearly one of the best doubles strategists that I have known.
And my dad went 3 sets and lost to Bitsy Grant in a long match, but when he played Hank Crawford, Hank came into the serve line and you couldn't get the ball by him. He just stood there and put it on a dime.
Hank Crawford was a champion at Georgia Tech in the 1930s and then won 12 national seniors titles in the 1970s with a big net game and an even bigger racket.
He put lead weights in the top of his wooden frame to really make it heavy and I guess to get more power. And he built the grip of his racket up with some type of moleskin. And whereas most people's racket has about a 4 5/8 inch diameter on the handle, his must have had a 5 1/2 inch diameter or 6 inch diameter.
He had a racket that was 18 ounces. And if any of the guys that know about rackets know that's about twice as heavy as rackets today. And he would just hold the racket out at the net and the ball would just go off of it 100 miles an hour just because the pace coming into the racket would rebound that much firmer because the racket was so heavy.
Tom Bird and Hank became almost synonymous. They won 12 national senior tournaments. He won a couple of the International Federation Cups. His legacy is that of a great senior doubles player.
To all, he was a gentleman's gentleman and the fairest of them all.
I remember he was just the most fair-minded guy in the world. He was a lawyer. And one of the guys got a ticket for something. I don't know if it was a parking ticket or something. And or maybe it was speeding. They called Hank up, wanted to know if he could help him with the ticket. And he said, "Well, what's it for?" And they told him. He said, "Well, he was speeding." He said, "Well, were you?" And they said, "Yeah." And Hank said, "We'll pay it." That's just the kind of guy he was.
Hank, you got to understand, Hank had tremendous integrity and was the nicest guy on the court. And Bitsy turns to Hank and says, "Hank, these guys are pretty good. You're going to have to give them a bad call." To which Hank looked at Bitsy and said, "Bitsy, I may be your partner, but that's all I am, is just your partner."
In 1983, Hank Crawford was in the very first class of inductees and is certainly a worthy member of the Georgia Tennis Hall of Fame.